Good evening, I'm Stephanie Seacos. It's Thursday, August 6th. This is CTV News at 11:30. Tonight, delay discussion. Concerns over a possible pause in conservation efforts for endangered North Atlantic right whales. Then, heat wave. How those living outside are managing during these extremely hot days. Plus, hitting the stage, the excitement building for the first concert at the Moncton Stadium in 3 years.
Live from our Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Stephanie Seacos.
Thanks for joining us. Bruce Frisco is off tonight. Efforts to recover the population of North Atlantic right whales could be facing rough seas. A bill in the United States to pause conservation efforts is being discussed. As CTV's Jonathan McGinnis tells us tonight, if passed, conservation measures could be on hold.
With a population of only about 380, the North Atlantic right whale is classified as severely endangered. But there have been some positive signs for the species.
This was a big calf year. We had 23 calves this year, the most calves that we've had since 2015.
Canadian and American government measures like altering shipping lanes, lowering vessel speeds, and the removal of fishing gear where whales are found have helped the population stabilize. But there could be trouble on the horizon. The senior conservation biologist for the Canadian Wildlife Federation says a U.S. bill to delay new protections for the whales could be devastating.
And if the U.S. reduces their efforts to eliminate these harms, then all the more reason what Canada is doing is so much more important.
What we have seen in the past is this population can decline very quickly.
That happened in 2012 and 2017. Heather Pettis with the New England Aquarium is worried about the future of right whales should protections ease.
The concern now is that yes, the population seems to have stabilized, but we know that it can switch on a dime. And so our concern is if we start to see an uptick again in entanglements or mortalities from entanglements, we're not going to be able to do anything about it.
The next vote on the U.S. conservation bill could come late this summer or in the fall. Right whale experts are scheduled to meet in Halifax in November. Jonathan McGinnis, CTV News, Halifax.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Police in New Brunswick are searching for the driver of a vehicle after a hit and run today on the Trans-Canada Highway. According to the RCMP, a pedestrian was struck by a vehicle in the westbound lane near Sackville around 5 this morning. The victim is in hospital with life-threatening injuries, and police say at this time it appears to be a hit and run. Westbound traffic was diverted to a rural road for hours until the highway reopened around noon. The RCMP is asking the public for any information on this crash. Nova Scotia's Justice Minister says he has great concerns regarding the wrongful conviction case of a Dartmouth man who spent 18 months in jail after a case of mistaken identity. Now calls for greater accountability are being made, but the province says it's looking into what went wrong. In January 2024, Brandon Claymie was sentenced and served 18 months in prison after he was wrongfully convicted of charges that included child luring and possession of child pornography. Court documents show that police mistook his username for one that was similar but not the same and used by a person online who had contacted and was messaging inappropriately with a 12-year-old Wisconsin girl through a messaging app. The Court of Appeal found that a user named Error led investigators to Claymie, and despite finding no evidence linking him to the crimes, Claymie was convicted and served his sentence before the conviction was overturned. The Justice Minister says he wants to get to the bottom of how this mistake was made.
I'm very concerned about this. I'm not sure how something like this can happen within the system. I've asked the public prosecution to give me a specific briefing on all the steps in this case. And once I have that, I'm going to make some decisions of what next steps will be. I feel terrible for Mr. Claymie and his family and anyone that was involved in this.
The Justice Minister says he and his department are open to meeting with Claymie and his legal advisor. He says he'll meet with the Public Prosecution Service to discuss the case soon. but says he'll wait for that meeting before making any other decisions on compensation or calling for an inquiry. Whether it's shelters, encampments, or on the streets, the heat wave is certainly impacting those living outside. As CTV's Emma Convey reports, there are supports in place for those in need.
This is PJ McKay's third summer living at this designated HRM encampment. To her, summer here means more rodents, bad behavior, and pure survival.
It is very hot. The last couple days I didn't get any energy up to do work in my camper or around it because it was so hot.
McKay says around 20 people live here. She expects more to arrive this month. The struggle they face this time of year is keeping cool.
So if we had some kind of an outside shower that we can go and rinse off once in a while, that might help.
McKay says staying hydrated is something the city and nonprofits have helped with. Souls Harbor Rescue Mission is one group that's increased their visits with the heat.
We're giving snacks, just doing wellness checks, checking in to make sure that everybody's okay, passing out clothing, lighter clothing.
Their team serves up to 1,500 meals a day across Nova Scotia. In Halifax alone, that's 200. They see the growing need, especially this time of year.
It's the same in the cold weather as the hot weather. We will do repeated checks throughout the day, not just the status quo. When things are changing in the weather, we're there.
The Nova Scotia government also has 9 service providers and outreach teams assisting those living outside. During extreme weather like a heat wave, it puts in place emergency weather supports.
When that temperature does rise above 29 degrees Celsius, then they can put measures in place. They can open additional beds in emergency shelter, for example, if they need it. They can be providing water and other cool things to cool people down.
The province says there is enough space to bring people inside.
Whether that's through the emergency or transitional shelters. And also there is availability within supportive housing in the province currently, and really offering to support them in that too.
For McKay, it's affordable housing she wants to get out of the heat in this encampment. Emma Convey, CTV News, Dartmouth.
Pop music fans will be flocking to Moncton Saturday for a big-time concert. And as CTV's Derek Haggett reports, the city and downtown bar owners can't wait.
It's been 3 years since the University of Moncton hosted its first concert, but music fans will be back and screaming on Saturday. Pop superstars, the Jonas Brothers, will be taking the stage.
It's awesome. I mean, obviously, we want to have big names. We've hosted a number of big names over the years. So anytime you can do an outdoor show with a large act like that, well, obviously, we're excited.
Over 20,000 fans attended Guns N' Roses 3 years ago. Porter wants a stadium show in the center of the city every summer.
We're doing a lot of talking right now and a lot of planning, so I hope that comes to fruition. The plan has always been to do something annually.
Moncton's annual Pride Parade is also taking place on Saturday, meaning the streets of downtown will be packed with people. Great news for bar and restaurant owners.
There's no doubt about it. I'm talking on behalf of all the pub and bar and restaurant owners. I wish there was just more of them, more concerts, because it does increase the foot traffic downtown.
I would think so too. People are going to be packing downtown looking for something to eat, especially with University of Moncton being so close to downtown. It's already been a great summer around here, and events like this help pack the venues downtown.
Moncton's Magnetic Hill concert site has seen some of the biggest names in rock over the years, but it's sat idle since 2019.
We see the way touring is going. They seem to focus more, promoters do, on stadiums. So I'll never say that Magnetic Hill is out of the picture. We talk about it all the time with promoters, but right now this site seems to fit the bill.
Porter says Saturday's show will be a bit more on the pop side. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Children under the age of 14 in Nova Scotia will soon be banned from e-scooters and e-bikes. The Public Works Minister says the age restriction is part of a slate of changes that will be made to the province's Traffic Safety Act. Fred Tilley says technology is allowing e-scooters and e-bikes to move much faster than before. Last year, the Canadian Institute for Health Information said e-scooter injuries were on the rise across Canada. It said between 2023 and 2024, there were 498 e-scooter hospitalizations, a 32% increase. The change is expected to come into effect this fall. A comedy-filled weekend kicked off tonight in Halifax despite the very hot temperatures. But the heat didn't stop crowds of people from gathering at Garrison Grounds in Halifax for the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. People took up spots along the hill to get a good view and tried to find some shade before the sunset. Tonight's headliner was Matt Rife. He'll be back on tomorrow night. Into the weekend, Andrew Schultz will headline Saturday night's show, and Nikki Glazer takes the stage Sunday night. At last check, there were still tickets available. Still to come tonight, Kaylin Mitchell will have the full forecast, including when we could see some relief from that heat. But next, collection concerns.
Mistakes were made, but the department understood what had to be done, and I put my trust in the department heads.
Why some people living in Cape Breton aren't pleased with the recent hires of new garbage collectors. That story is coming up after the break.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. 10 questions, 60 seconds. If you know all the answers, you're winning $1,000.
We play $1,000 Minute every weekday at 7 a.m.
More garbage collectors are being hired in the Cape Breton Regional Municipality. It's the latest attempt to fix the inconsistent pickups that have been plaguing people ever since the city switched from contracting out solid waste collection to doing it themselves. But not everyone agrees with the move or the money it will cost. Here's CTV's Ryan McDonald.
As people put their trash at the curb on a nearly 30-degree day, others were contacting their councillor about yesterday's decision to hire 8 new garbage collectors.
Saying that I can't believe council, and myself included, right, that council approved $700,000 more with the mess that we're in right now.
Councillor Kim Shepherd-Campbell took some residents' garbage to the dump herself following some cancelled collections about a month ago. She voted against the new hires, wanting more information on what caused the pickup problems in the first place.
I can't base decisions on hope. I was hoping to have some evidence there of where the inefficiencies were and how we could correct them.
Mistakes were made, but the department understood what had to be done, and I put my trust in the department heads.
Steve Gillespie voted for the 8 new garbage collectors, but he doesn't think the move will fix everything.
I don't believe that what we did was to solve the issue. I think it was the next step in solving the issue. I think we're going to be back here in 6 months to look at how we can even do better.
The CBRM says the public works staff has already identified 6 of the new hires and that they're expected to be on the job here within the coming days.
Our residents definitely deserve a quality service, so I'm going to be monitoring this closely.
Councillor Stephen McNeil, who also voted no, says there will have to be noticeable improvements to the collection service in order to justify the additional $700,000 cost.
It's going to be really interesting to see the end of our year, what we actually come in at in terms of what we thought our budget was versus what our actual budget's going to be.
The new hires will bring the number of CBRM garbage collection staff from 18 to 26. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
The company hoping to revive oil and gas exploration off the coast of Nova Scotia has been given a second extension to come up with the finances required to secure its future work. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston says he's not concerned that Inceptio Oil and Gas, the company that won 2 bids to explore and drill for petroleum offshore here, has now requested a second extension, but says he's confident the company will be successful.
It's a process, so the process is continuing, and they weren't able to meet the process on the initial timeline. So we're open-minded about that because the important thing is the process, not the timeline. But so no, we're confident they're making efforts. There's the due diligence is happening from their investors.
In April, Inceptio Oil and Gas was awarded bids to explore 2 offshore parcels for a price tag of $210 million. Opening up resource extraction opportunities in Nova Scotia is a major focus of the Houston government. Time for a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your full maritime weather forecast. But first, it was a peaceful night in Eastern Passage, Nova Scotia, though still certainly warm and humid out there. Coming up, Kaylin will tell us how long this stretch of hot weather will last. Stay with us. Welcome back. Meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell joins us now with your maritime weather forecast. And Kaylin, it's still going to be quite warm through the overnight hours.
Very warm, very muggy across the Maritimes. Humidity, after it was down a little bit on Tuesday, has steadily climbed throughout the week. It's going to be around for Friday and for the upcoming weekend, despite the fact that on the weekend, the actual air temperatures will come down a few degrees, accompanied, though, by a chance of showers and the risk of thunderstorms. We're still currently underneath an area of high pressure. In that weekend forecast, is going to start to give away a little bit. Heat warnings carry on as well for all three maritime provinces straight into Friday. May even still see them in effect for a few areas on the Saturday. Taking a look at the timeline for cloud cover and precipitation, sky very clear for tonight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot, and humid across a good portion of the Maritimes. Now, in southern areas of New Brunswick, beginning around the mid-afternoon hours, and in the southwestern corner of the province of Fredericton, McAdam, St. John, and then back towards St. Stephen, Grand Manan, there'll be a chance for a few pop-up showers and maybe a pop-up thunderstorm. A little bit later in the afternoon, early evening, we could see something pop up around Moncton in the southeast as well. Now, moving through the evening hours, any showers or thunderstorms that did develop will be coming to an end. And then for Saturday, as we make our way into the afternoon and evening, there will be a broader chance of a shower or thunderstorm just generally in the Maritimes. Most communities will have about a 40% chance of a shower or thunderstorm on Saturday. Taking a look at winds in the forecast for tomorrow, still mostly out of the west and on the lighter side, sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. As we just talked about with Stephanie, tonight's temperatures very warm across the region, mostly mid to high teens, and with the humidex feeling into the 20s. And then for tomorrow, well, it's going to be very similar to today. A lot of high temperatures in the low 30s in northern, central, and even southern areas of New Brunswick, and humidex values making it feel up into the high 30s and some near 40. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow, most of the high temperatures, high 20s, low 30s, but humidex values making it feel into the mid to high 30s. For Cape Breton tomorrow, most highs, high 20s or near 30 degrees, except right on the Atlantic coastline there between 25 and 27. And that continues down to the eastern shore for Nova Scotia, the coastal areas at least. As you get away from that coastal zone, the high temperatures will be coming up into the high 20s and low 30s. 31 for Amherst for tomorrow, 32 for Truro and Halifax. City centers, both Halifax and Dartmouth. Near 30 for Chester and Lunenburg. 33 degrees in the Annapolis Valley, south shore of Nova Scotia. Most of the highs between about 27 and 32, except for coastal areas right in the southwest, right on the coastline there around, say, the Digby Neck or around Yarmouth or into coastal areas of Shelburne County there, 25 to 27 degrees. Taking a look at the extended forecast for New Brunswick. So you can see temperatures come down a few degrees on Saturday and then a few degrees more on Sunday. But it's going to be muggy all the way through that stretch, and both days will have a chance of a shower, risk of a thunderstorm. Mix of sun and cloud for Monday. Showers in the forecast for Tuesday of next week. Wednesday, mix of sun and cloud and a chance of showers on Thursday. For Nova Scotia, temperatures come down a few degrees on Saturday and then a couple degrees more on Sunday. Still muggy, though. Isolated showers with the risk of a thunderstorm on Saturday. Showers may end up being a little bit more widespread on the Sunday. Monday, mix of sun and cloud, very warm. Showers in the forecast for Tuesday, mix of sun and cloud on Wednesday of next week, and a chance of showers on Thursday. And for Prince Edward Island, hot and humid to finish out this week. On Saturday, the high near 26, still very muggy, low chance of a shower or thunderstorm. The chance of a shower or thunderstorm a little bit higher on Sunday, about a 60% chance. And then Monday, mix of sun and cloud, showers on Tuesday. Wednesday, mix of sun and cloud, and a chance of showers on Thursday of next week. Stephanie.
Thanks, Kaylin. We'll take a short break now. Stay with us.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
There were plenty of handshakes and hugs on the Canada-U.S. border last night between St. Stephen, New Brunswick and Calais, Maine. The two towns are celebrating family and friendship across the border amid trade war tensions. CTV's Nick Moore has this story.
It is an annual meet and greet on the Ferry Point International Bridge between St. Stephen and Calais, and a symbolic one for sisters Edna Armstrong and Lily Quinn.
There's families on both sides of the border.
Edna lives in Canada, Lily lives in the United States.
It's not two communities, it's really one community, and it's been this way for a very long time.
While the trade war has created tension at the border, Edna and Lily remember when the pandemic caused all-out restrictions.
We would meet on each side of the border and talk on our telephones so that we could be together. I was at one boat landing, she was at the other.
The sisters say meeting here to kick off the International Homecoming Festival is much better. The festival began in 1974 and is rolling along during the turbulent times of 2026. Steve Backman is the mayor of St. Stephen.
It really shows how friendship can overpower politics. We're two separate communities in two separate countries, yet we function as one.
Marcia Rogers is the mayor of Calais.
No matter what it is that's going on the outside, we still have this community on both sides. We're one community.
The links are everywhere. We share our emergency service.
A critical collaboration which is a part of everyday life here.
We rely heavily on each other. We respect each other.
We're brother and sisters. We definitely are.
Some of the first training I did was here in Calais, and they had a brand new ladder truck at the time, and now it's not the brand new ladder truck. We've got the brand new one on this side of the border. So you know, we help each other, and it's been going on forever.
A timely reminder of what makes these two communities unique, no matter what's going on with cross-border relations. The 53rd Annual International Homecoming Festival runs until Sunday. Nick Moore, CTV News, St. Stephen, New Brunswick, Calais, Maine.
Time now for one last break. Coming up next, your wake-up weather for Friday. But first, here's a live look at Fredericton, where it is still 22 degrees out there at this hour. Kaylin will be back to break down the morning forecast when we come back. Let's see how your Friday is shaping up. Kaylin is back now with your wake-up weather and plenty of sunshine to start out the day.
Yeah, very bright start for all three maritime provinces. Very warm as well, and conditions turn hot and humid again as we move into the afternoon. The one difference tomorrow compared to the last couple of days is there will be a chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm afternoon into early evening for parts of the south of New Brunswick, beginning around the Fredericton area and then down to the south and southwest and even around Moncton and the southeast. Remember.
Thanks, Kaylin. Finally for us tonight, a Nova Scotia nurse recently received a special recognition. Karen Hall accepted her award for Internationally Educated Nurse of the Year. The ceremony was held in Halifax by the Nova Scotia Internationally Educated Nurses Network. The award recognizes exceptional leadership, dedication, and professional excellence in patient care. Hall practices on the pediatric medical unit at the IWK, caring for sick children and their families.
The feeling is so surreal because when I came to Canada, I was not expecting an award like this at this moment because there were so many times of uncertainty, challenges, doubts, not knowing if you truly belong. So this award is really honorable, and I'm humbled to receive this award. And it not only represents me, it represents every internationally educated nurse in Nova Scotia and Canada.
Hall moved from Jamaica to Canada in 2013. Congratulations to Karen. And that will do it for us tonight. A reminder, if you joined us late or would like another look at any of our stories, you can always visit our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. It's your home for news. From all of us here tonight, thanks for watching. Have a great night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 11:30.